All right. Hey friends, it's Regina and Snuggles is here with me. I'm going to go through the various poses, asanas, that I offer you in that document for our challenge. Now, this is not a sequence that you have to follow. I am not going to teach and guide a yoga class with this. I'm going to demonstrate each of the poses, give you a little bit of information about each one, and then you can pull from them for your 15-minute class, for that 15 minutes of yoga. You can choose one and do it for 15 minutes. You can choose 2 or 3 and do them for 10 to 15 minutes, 5 to 10 minutes. You can pull, now these exercises, these asanas that I'm doing right now are for more of the anxiety mindset, really stressed, hyper aroused. Okay, that's what I'm doing. So you might, and then the next video will be more for the lethargic. So you might find that you really want one from each or a couple from each. So you get to create this for yourself. And yeah, so I'll leave it at that since this is taking as much time as I have already. All right, so the first one is to come to lie on your belly. Now, if you would like to provide a little more love for your ankles, you might take a rolled towel or a small cushion or bolster underneath the tops of your ankles and then lower your body down. Shift a little bit, make sure your hips are comfortable. If you need to put a blanket down, then make sure that it's equal length through your whole body. And then we'll get Snuggles to move here. Come on, move, buddy. You're going to stack your hands, let your elbows go out wide, and bring your forehead to rest on your hands. Take any adjustments you need. And then bring your awareness to your breath. And you want to feel your belly expand into the earth beneath you as you breathe in. And you want to feel your belly draw back in toward your spine on your exhalation. And you can stay here for your whole length of time, however much time you would like. Okay? So that is your crocodile breathing. From crocodile breathing, excuse me. So it's later in the evening and Snuggles is a little more wound up and ready for me to go to bed. So he's gonna probably be pretty much involved in these videos. All right, so then after that, we have seated twist. Now keep in mind, when we're dealing with anxiety or hyperarousal, sometimes coming into a twist of any kind can be very relieving, but other times it might actually heighten your state of anxiety and you might find it more difficult to breathe or to focus or to really be present in that moment. So, and that could be with any pose under any circumstance, right? So just keep that in mind. If you find that your state of anxiety is elevating, then release whatever pose you're in, all right? So you can either do this from an easy seat, that's just your simple crisscross. Anytime I come to seated, I like to take a little prop under the edge of my sitting bones. It really does help my low back feel more comfortable. It helps to tilt the pelvis forward. So find what you need. It can be a blanket or a towel as well. And then from here, we'll inhale tall. You can even let the arms rise, but you don't have to. And we will exhale to the right. And if you're just trying to get your body warmed up, you might inhale center and exhale, inhale and exhale. This would be something more for lethargy though, if you're a little more depressed, because you're really creating some energy there. So I wouldn't do too much of that if you're already hyper aroused. But you would inhale and then exhale to take it into your rotation. It doesn't have to be very far. Let your chin follow your shoulder that is turning toward the back. You can use props. You can always bring a block under your hand if that is more supportive. Okay, and then you'll inhale back to center and exhale to other side. Right? So you can do it with easy seat. You could also do half Lord of the Fishes, and you could do it with your foot in line with your hip, or you can let it cross your thigh. All right, wherever you're at, you want both sitting bones down though, and you want this foot supported. So if your foot's not coming down, then slide something underneath it to accommodate it. Inhale tall, and then exhale toward your leg that is lifted up, and that foot is flat. Again, feel free to place a block under your hand. And you don't have to, for these poses, we're not seeing just how deep we can go into a pose. We are here for the mental benefits. So release any desire or efforting toward the pose looking a certain way. Find length in your spine on your inhale, exhale for your rotation. Only take it as far as you need to feel the benefit. So it's not like you have to crank it so far that you have your elbow or your forearm to the outside of your leg. Okay, be very gracious with yourself on this journey. All right, so then after our rotations, our twists, we have supported legs up the wall. And I should have cleared out my wall space. Let me do this. Hold on. Move this out of the way. Watch out, Snuggles. It's a special frame we have for I Am Priceless. All right. Just going to turn this a little bit so you can see this wall space. And this information I'm sharing with you on these videos is coming from a book that I recently acquired called Yoga as Medicine. Let me show it to you real quick. Yoga as Medicine. It is written by a medical doctor, Dr. Timothy McCall, and he is actually a yogi as well. So it's pretty cool. All right, so for supported legs up the wall, I have this little prop here. You can use something else, but we want to bring, we need a little more room here. Snuggles, you gotta give me a little minute here, buddy. You want to bring your sitting bones or the edge of your sitting bones onto your bolster or your prop of choice. You're going to have it body up fairly close. And then slide your legs up the wall. Make adjustments as you need to so that your hips are able to be in the space between the edge of your prop and your wall. And then you're going to hang out. Take your arms out wide. You can turn palms up or palms down. And this already feels so nice at the end of the day that I'm going to be hard pressed to want to get up and move forward with y'all, but this is a delightful place to be. So allow yourself to really linger in this time of self-care, whether it's legs up the wall or some other pose. All right. And then you'll roll to your side. Then let yourself slowly press up. All right. Okay, so legs up the wall, supported legs up the wall. And then we have Shavasana and we have some standing poses. So let me go ahead and show you a supported Shavasana. And you could use that for at any point, right? But a supported Shavasana that I like to create, I use a couple of blocks. You could use whatever you have. If you don't have blocks, then use what you do have. Let me adjust this again. All right, so a block on the low setting, a block on its highest setting. It could be on a medium setting, whatever works for you. I think I'm gonna go medium tonight. And then you can use cushions or bed pillows. I have this bolster here. All right. And then to make it really restorative, you can bring in some kind of a prop for each arm. It can be other blocks. It could be folded or rolled blankets, whatever works for you. And then something under your knees or your thighs. So I have this little prop. You want your bolster that you're lying on to meet your low back. If you have a ponytail, move it out of the way. Maybe even consider taking it down. And then prop your arms. Let your legs fall out naturally. So I really should turn that more. But what I really want to show you is this propping, right? So this one doesn't feel especially comfortable. I think I want to make some adjustments. That's better. All right, so this would be a supported Shavasana. Okay. From there, let me show you the standing poses. So, of course, coming into Tadasana, mountain pose, and then we'll move into some balance as well as some side stretches. Let me back this video up, or my phone up. All right, so you're in your Tadasana, your mountain pose. You just take a little wiggle, right? And then we want to really open through sides. So we inhale arms, and we just exhale and sway side to side. Check in with the hips, make sure they stay stacked underneath your body. You don't want them to pop out. You're not trying to find this kind of movement. You want to move from your waist, right, to extend and extend. So after you've done a few side to side, inhale nice and tall, exhale, extend to one side. It doesn't matter which side you start with. Just choose a side. Remember, we want our hip underneath our torso, so don't let it push out. It's not how far you can go to the side. You're not looking to create a big C. You just want to extend and then extend to the side, all right? So as you're here, your focus is on breathing deeply into your lungs, so you're getting a nice movement and release through your side body and into your ribs. And then you inhale center, exhale other side, same thing, keeping the body stacked and aligned. And then you can exhale back down. Another one from standing is to work with the balance. And here's the key. When you come into your balancing pose, should you fall out of it, instead of giving up, laugh. That's part of our happiness hormones. Not at yourself, but with yourself. Come back to your Tadasana, reset, and then back into the balancing pose you fell out of. Find balance, take a breath in that balance, and then release while you are balanced. And so instead of falling out of it and then just saying, huh, and moving on to the other side or to the next asana, come back to the pose that you fell out of. Have some levity and some laughter, make it light, forgiving, gracious, and then go back into it again. Find your balance, take your breath, and come out of it while you are balanced. So it can be simply lifting a leg, you can bring the knee up, you can extend the leg, you might try tree pose. Wherever you're at, make sure your hips stay stacked under you. You're not letting it rest outside of the body, because when you push it out, now your hips are out of alignment, you're going to end up with discomfort and things going on in your low back and in your hips. So really stand tall as you anchor into the foot on the floor, lift through and strengthen the standing legs, strengthen pelvic floor and belly, grow tall, bringing your ribs a little further away from your hips, creating that space that's going to allow you to stay more balanced. All right, so those are your standing options for anxiety. Your Tadasana, your side to side, and then your balancing, okay? And then the last thing that I offer you with the anxiety asanas or options, because this is not an asana, and that is a seated meditation. So don't freak out when I say meditation, right? Because it's not that you have to be able to quiet your mind. Meditation is not about quieting your mind. It's about finding peace with whatever is in your mind and being at peace with yourself. So you can just start with your seated posture and then begin to guide your awareness to your breath. And your eyes can remain open, downcast, or closed, whatever works for you. And then after you have settled enough that your awareness is on your breath, if you would like another step to it, another option, you can add a mantra. Your inhale could be a gentle so, and your exhale could be a gentle hum. So, hum. So, hum. So, hum. And it's not that you're trying to use the mantra to mask what's going on in your mind, but it allows you to find that stillness, that where you can be at peace and harmony with whatever else is going on in your mind. And this is a practice that when we do it again and again, we're able to take that skill with us into life. And more often than not, as life becomes chaotic and things are out of our control, we can return to that inner stillness that we've developed in our times of meditation, so that we are less anxious and less stressed. We carry less tension as we move through our days. Okay? So I hope that serves you well. If you have any questions, please post them, and I'll look forward to seeing you soon. Bye-bye.